Yes, sir. Madunggan na, sir.
Yes, sir.
Madunggan,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Madunggan ka, sir.
Madunggan, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think everybody know me, no, already. So I will take the place of Christian because he's not available right now. No, he's attending to an emergency. So this afternoon, so I was being delegated to introduce our speaker for this afternoon webinar. So what we have this afternoon is the Professional Regulation Commission webinar, no? Okay. So I hope you will listen to this. This is very important so that when you graduate, kabalo na mo what will be the process when you apply for the board exam, no? Definitely you will be going to take the board exam on yun, no, after you graduate. So this is very important for you para you will be properly guided, no, on how to apply for the board exam. And after passing also the board exam, you will also secure your license. So again, there is also a process on that. So this is very important. Okay. So hello, our speaker for this afternoon, I think she's here already. Okay. So let me introduce. Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Are you now on? Hello, ma'am Jaji.
Hello, Sir Larry. I
Yes,
think, Sir
ma'am.
Larry, your volume is quite low. Couldn't hear you that clearly.
Okay. So sige ma'am, ako na lang yung ikon para we can finish it early. Okay. So let me introduce to you our speaker for this afternoon. No, sorry for my speaker, medyo mahina, no? Okay, so our speaker for this afternoon webinar is Miss Janine Kyle T. Judge. She's the Senior Professional Regulation Officer and a licensed environmental planner. So let's welcome Ma'am Jaji. No? Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, sige ma'am, sige ma'am. You may have the floor now, ma'am.
Hello, Sir Larry. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Madungog ko, ma'am.
Okay. So, shall I start now? My connection is quite intermittent.
Yes, okay na, ma'am. Okay na. You can start now, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Ada.
Hello, good afternoon. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. So good afternoon once again. I am from Professional Regulation Commission, or also known as PRC. My name is Janine Carol K. Chaji. I am an alumna of Xavier University with a degree, BS in Business Administration, major in Financial Management. I've also earned my master's degree also in the same with the same academic institution. And I'm gonna tell you later how was I able to get a license, a PRC license rather, when there is no examination aligned to my course. So once again, good afternoon, and I am from the Licensure and Registration Division, and I will be conducting an orientation on licensure examination for potential or prospective applicants here in our agency. So to start with, I would just like to confirm if all of my participants here are from the College of Engineering and School of Business and Management.
Engineering and education po, ma'am.
Engineering and Education. All right, so
Education, ma'am.
okay, anyway, so I thought that this will be a mix of College of Engineering and School of Business and Management. But anyway, we will just skip some slides here because I thought that some of the slides would be connected to the School of Business and Management board exams. So let us start. So through the Republic Act number 8981 or the Presidential Decree number 223 on June 22, 1973, the PRC Modernization Act of 2000 was implemented. So the PRC was created by Presidential Decree 23 and it was repealed through Republic Act number 8981, otherwise known as PRC Modernization. Now, on September 11, 2006, the PRC was attached to the Department of Labor and Employment pursuant to Executive Order number 565, series of 2006. On October 9, wala nakamute ang card.
Pakimute sa inyo ang...
I'm so sorry, but please unmute yourself so that you could not distract our orientation. Thank you for that. Now let me proceed. On October 9, 2006, Order number 565A, series of 2006, was issued delegating the presidential power of control over the PRC to the DOLE Secretary. Being an attached agency of the DOLE, the PRC works closely to the mandate of its mother agency. So therefore, our mother agency is the Department of Labor and Employment. The mandate of PRC, the Professional Regulation Commission, administers, implements, and enforces the regulatory laws and policies of the country with respect to the regulation and licensing of the various professions and occupations under its jurisdiction, including the enhancement and maintenance of professional and occupational standards and ethics and the enforcement of the rules and regulations relative thereto. The vision, the PRC is the instrument of the Filipino people in securing for the nation a reliable, trustworthy, and progressive system of determining the competence of professionals by credible and valid licensure examinations and standards of professional practice that are globally recognized. The mission of PRC to deliberately, scientifically, and consistently determine the competence of professionals through the provision of professional standards and judicious issuance of professional license. Now, the PRC is headed by three-person commission. So, with the two assistant commissioners here, Honorable Jose Y. Cueto Jr. and Honorable Yolanda D. Reyes, which she already retired already. So, our chairperson is Honorable Teofilo S. Pilato. The power to administer, implement, and enforce the regulatory policies of the national government. Second, administer and conduct the licensure examinations of the various regulatory boards. Determine and fix the places and dates of examinations. Number four, to approve the results of examinations and the release of the same. To implement the program for the full computerization of all licensure examinations. Now, beginning this year, we are on our pioneering date or time that we will be conducting computerized based examinations. So hopefully that we will be able to accommodate all of the examinations but, that will be conducted through computerized based na. Or issue certificate of registration, which shall be the basis of authority to practice the profession. Issue professional identification card upon payment of prescribed fees. To determine and fix the amount of fees to be charged and collected for examination, registration, and other regulatory fees. To have custody of all records, monitor the performance of schools in licensure examinations, and creation of regional offices. So all in all, these are the regional offices here in our country. We have a total of 57 professions supervised by 45 professional regulatory boards. So among here, I believe that you are studying to pass the board exam. One of the professions here indicated or as shown in the screen. So what are the functions of the PRBs? Now, PRBs are the professional regulatory boards. They are mandated or functioning to regulate the practice of the professions, prepare, adopt, and issue syllabi of the subjects for exams, hear and investigate erring professionals, to determine and prepare the questions for the licensure examinations, to score and grade examination papers, to determine the appropriate passing general average in an examination. Now, just like what I said a while ago, that I thought is a mix of SPM and COE. But anyway, let's just skip this slide. So PRC licensure examination system. So stage one, you have to apply. And here are the general admission qualifications upon application. So you must meet these qualifications. You must be a citizen of the Philippines, at least 18 years old or as provided in the regulatory laws, a good moral character, a degree holder, and other specific qualifications as may be required by the Commission or the regulatory law. Basic documentary requirements, PSA or NSO birth certificate, or local birth certificate or Form 1A. This local birth certificate or Form 1A, this is just to justify or to support your PSA birth certificate. I will show you later why there is a need to justify your birth certificate. Now, marriage certificate for female married applicants only. Transcript of records with scanned picture and for board exam purposes remarks under your DOR. or it is shown below your date of birth. Government issued ID if NBI clearance is not required. So I will show you later what are the documentary requirements upon your application here at our agency. So there is a note here. Check the names, date of birth, sex, and citizenship. Pertinent data should be consistent with other requirements. If not, apply now for correction in your documents. So please see to it if you are a male and then in your birth certificate it is identified or identified as female, then it is time for you to apply now for correction in your documents. And for example, your middle name is changed or there is a new annotation on it that you are acknowledged by your father, then you have to annotate it as early as now so that there will be no there will be no kana ipabalik-balik bitaw mo din sa agency because you have to correct your PSA birth certificate. So a good example of a PSA birth certificate. So your first name, for example, purposes only is Juanita, middle name Pardillo, and last would be Pitogo. You see to it that you have a sex here, either you are a male or female, because we have already an experience here or with some encounters that we had that wala gyud siya sex na na-indicate in their birth certificate. Therefore, ma-postpone ang iyang pag-apply for exam. And date of birth, see to it also that your date of birth is clear. If not, then please get a copy of Form 1A at Civil Registrar. If you were born here in Calendar or City, you can get your Form 1A at City Hall. Kung sa municipal mo na born or natawo, then get your Form 1A to the nearest municipal civil registrar. This is how a Form 1A looks like. So, in support, lagyan niyo siya sa katong PSA birth certificate. In case na dili maklaro ang imong pangalan or your date of birth. For example of a TOR, please ensure that your name is well spelled out. In this example, the name is Juanita Pardillo Pitogo and the date of birth is also correct. All of your requirements or documents must be consistent in terms of the data needed. So defining minor errors that shall be acceptable and considered as deferred cases, shall not be considered as deferred cases. So major errors are discrepancy in the surname or last name and given name or first name, such as Amelia and Susan. So these are two different words. And for example, the name in your birth certificate is Amelia, but you are using Susan. This is considered as a major error. Another example is Reyes and Perez. Another major error is discrepancy in the date of birth. Those identified as major errors shall not be accepted unless the entries are corrected, thereby maintaining the no deferred policy. So meaning to say, if you are going to apply for the February board exam, you will not be deferred to the next schedule unless you have already complied the documents needed. Defining minor errors. So these are examples of minor errors. Inconsistencies in the usual writing or printing of names of persons such as M.A. and Maria, Junior and Junior and the like. Della, there's just a space in between. Della and Della, Delos and Delos. The difference is the space. And the like, Mary Jane and Mary Jane and the like. So these are considered as minor errors. Number 2, wrong sex, male instead of female and vice versa. or no sex printed in the birth certificate, discrepancies in vowels or double and single letters in the spelling. Examples are Raymundo and Mundo and Mondo. Barameda, and the next one is there's no another R after R in the Barameda. So those identified as minor errors shall be accepted, provided an affidavit of discrepancy shall be executed and submitted. The name in which the applicant is customarily known shall be followed. Those with wrong sex or without sex printed in the birth certificate shall be accepted, provided all of the following shall be presented and submitted: parents or guardian affidavit, certification from the barangay chairman or his representative proving that the applicant is really male or female, and voters registration record. Additional documentary requirements. So recent photo and documentary stamp. You must prepare at least 3 passport size colored photos, white background, and with complete name tag. You need to say your middle name should be spelled out. Sample of the photos here. If your photo with complete name tag is like this, Juana A. de la Cruz, this is not acceptable. So we will require you to take a photo again that your complete name will be reflected under your picture. Exam fee for baccalaureate exams. I mean, if you're a degree holder, then your exam fee is 900. For non-baccalaureate degree examinations is around 600. Documentary stamps with equivalent monetary value of 30 pesos. So if you have 2 brown documentary stamps, which you can buy at BIR or the Bureau of Internal Revenue, you can buy it there, 15 pesos each for 1 brown, but we need a monetary value of 30. Therefore, you need to get 2 browns or just 1 colored violet documentary stamp, because the monetary value of this colored violet documentary stamp is equal to 30. Now, for those who are enrolled under the course BS in Chemical Engineering, here are the requirements for you to apply here at our agency. So please prepare PSA birth certificate, marriage certificate for married females only, transcript of records with scanned picture for board exam purposes remark, and valid NBI clearance. Now, if you are a graduate of BS in Chemical Engineering, you may also take Chemical Technician examination. So in addition to the basic requirements is 1 certificate of good moral character. And you may also take Master Plumber exam if you wish to. So again, there are 3 board examinations that a graduate of BS in Chemical Engineering can apply here at PRC. For civil engineering, only the basic requirements: PSA or NSO birth certificate, marriage certificate for married female applicants, TOR for board examination purposes, remark, valid NBI clearance that should be valid on the examination day, and 2 certificate of good moral character. Please note that here at our agency, we do not consider signatures that were just stamped. We prevent such instances, fake bitaw, and no-good moral certificate of character. So therefore, please see to it that the signatory is signing using, the sign is handwritten, not through stamp or digital signature. A graduate of BS in Civil Engineering may also take the Master Plumber exam. Electrical Engineering, or the examination for electrical engineers, only the basic requirements. So PSA birth certificate, my certificate for married female, and DOR, and government issued ID. They can also, you can also apply for the master electrician or the registered master electrician exam and master plumber examination. However, if you are a graduate of BSA electrical engineering, you must submit a 5 years experience certificate for taking the master plumber exam. Electronics engineering, only the basic requirements. If you are a graduate of BS in electronics engineering, you may take the electronics technician as well. Only the basic requirements will be asked from you. Mechanical engineering, only the basic requirements. However, you need to submit valid NBI clearance instead of any government issued ID. If you are a graduate of BS in mechanical engineering, you may also take the master plumber exam, and you will be required of the basic requirements only. Now, please take note that after 3 failures for the mechanical engineer's exam, you need to rest for 1 year. Then after that, you may take another exam again for mechanical engineers. Now, for education, a graduate in education, basic requirements only. Sorry, I don't have the slide, but the requirements for education graduate is birth certificate and marriage certificate for married female applicants, transcript of records with scanned picture and for board examination purposes required, and any government issued ID, just like the requirements of electronics engineering graduate. Here are the accepted government issued IDs as per Memo Order number 11, series of 2018. So if you have already your passport with you, then that's good. Driver's license. If you have existing PRC ID, then that could be considered as a government issued ID. Steps in filing application for licensure examination. So access the PRC website, go to www.online.prc.gov.ph or www.prc.gov.ph and create an account. As early as now, if you have the intention to take a board examination, then you can create an account as early as now. Select an appointment place and choose among the payment options or channels available. GCash is available, PayMaya, Land Bank debit or credit card, and any credit card or debit card. Download and print application form, proceed and submit all the requirements to the place of appointment on the scheduled date. After you have submitted and complied the requirements, you will receive the notice of admission. You are then told to please read the instructions in the front and back page of your notice of admission. So this is how a notice of admission looks like. So your photo on the left, application number, then your name, details, exam date, and exam place. This is a sample of the application form that would be generated when you click print document upon successful transaction online. So if you have made your payment online, then click the print document on the corresponding transaction, then this will be generated. When you go to LERIS or Licensure Examination and Registration Information System or www.prc.gov.ph, then you will click to register. Please read the following. And just press on I agree if you have read carefully all of the guidelines there. After you have registered, input your email address and password. Then click on I'm not a robot. Then just try to successfully click on the images as required. So let's go back. If you are still going to register, then write your first name, middle name, last name, everything that is needed there. Your email address should be active because that would be used eventually, no? If you're going to apply for another examination, the email address that was registered under your name will be used. Points to remember, read the instructions at the back of the notice of admission. Ensure that in your application form, all information are correct and email address is active. So online step-by-step manual. So once you have already registered, input your username and password. Then here's your profile, just update on the remaining blank the remaining blanks that need to be accomplished. Education, employment background, your valid ID, and other information. You are required then to upload a photo. So below are sample of acceptable photo on the left side, you can see there. Note that application will not be processed if photo does not resemble the applicant. Applicant wears eyeglasses, background is not plain white, photo has shadows, and ears are covered. If you're going to apply for an examination, just click on the select transaction on the upper right. Then click on what examination you're taking, date of examination, and then click on proceed. For example, we could not proceed kasi we're not taking an examination, but in here you're going to confirm the purpose. For example, examination ang gawas, pero di ba ta maka-proceed ng good kay examination, it will show examination. Pero sample purposes na lang, certification, then the branch or the office here at PRC Regional Office Cagayan de Oro, the schedule date and time. Then if you're not available on that date, then press on reschedule. Then after you have confirmed, on the right side here, just click on the payment channel that you are going to pay, that you're going to use in paying the prescribed amount. So after you have already successfully made your payment, a payment confirmation will show. Then go to existing transaction, payment details. There you can see print document. This application form will be generated and you have to bring that along the required documents here at the PRC office. Before the examination, school assignment will be posted in the PRC website, www.prc.gov.ph. Visit your assigned school for familiarization. Prepare the following: 2 pencils, black ordinary ball pen, 1 long brown envelope, 1 long transparent or plastic envelope, and non-programmable calculator. Stage 2, conduct of examination. For male, please wear plain white polo shirt. For female, please wear white blouse or plain white polo shirt. Go to your school assignment before 5:30 a.m. List of examinees is posted in every room. Late examinees will not be admitted. Attend to your personal needs before the start of the exam in every subject. No examinee will be allowed to go out of the examination room while the exam is in progress. Therefore, you need to bring your own bahon, your snacks, or your lunch, because you're not allowed to go out of the classroom once the examination has begun. Stage 3, examination proper, prohibited items or acts inside the examination area. Cellular phones, programmable calculators, reviewers, books and notes or codigo, any types of bags, giving signs and gestures. Now, there was one incident that I caught someone na nagdala siya of a piece of paper. Then he didn't know that it was there kung wala na nalabhan ng iyang pants. So please make sure no, if you are reviewing and you are not going to put your pants in laundry, make sure na labot sa school kung asa na-assign ng imong exam na inside the pockets wala gyud pieces of paper. Kay it will be a long process for you to explain and justify such actions. Filling up of examination forms. Use blank ordinary ball pen in writing information inside the boxes. Use pencil in marking or shading the boxes below the letters or numbers. How to mark your examinee identification sheet or answer sheet. Use standard number 2 pencil only. Do not apply too much pressure. Just mark, how can I, say like this, or how can I show it? Basta kay, ayaw lang kay butay much pressure or not too light, as long as you have shaded the indicated, portion for you to shade, just mark it properly, make the mark dark and straight. How to accomplish examinee identification sheet. So with me, I have a sample of the answer sheet. So this is how the answer sheet looks like. So at the back of the first answer sheet, there is this examinee identification sheet. This one. So let's return here in the first page, application number on the left side. So application number, in your notice of admission, you will be given there your application number. So in this example, 144142, let's copy it. So 144142, then shade the corresponding number. In this portion, write your last name and first name, middle name, then shade the corresponding boxes underneath it. Sample ID sheet, so this is found at the back of the first review from a review center, then you can put their self review. Then under that is the attestation on non-disclosure declaration. You just have to copy all of the paragraphs here, the first and second paragraphs, then affix your signature and the date. This answer sheet, this is where you will shade the corresponding choices for your answers. So this can be found, or this is found on the second page, third and fourth and fifth pages. It depends on the subjects, no? So for example, on the first day, there are 3 subjects. So you'll be using 3 pages of this bundle on the first day of your exam. So how to detach the answer sheet? So I'll just show you how to detach it. So put a little bit pressure on the left side, then stir it using your right hand. In the brown envelope, print your name on the left top corner and your seat number on the right top corner. Do not worry because during the examination, your proctor will be guiding you on how to do on these how to do's. No, sa imong answer sheet and sa imong brown envelope, the proctor assigned to the room where you will be assigned to will be guiding you on these things. So handling of examinees identification sheet and answer sheets. Check if the serial number of the examinee identification sheet or answer sheets are the same for all the sheets. If there is any discrepancy, return to the set to your room watcher for replacement. The serial number is not the application number. Now, in here, I have here a sample answer sheet. The serial number is found on the upper right corner of your answer sheet. Check if the number of answer sheets corresponds to the number of examination subjects. So in this sample or in this bundle, I have 5 answer sheets here. Handling of test question sets. Indicate your seat number at the right top corner of page 1. Check if the number of pages of your test booklet is complete and no misprints. If there is any problem, return the test booklet to the room watcher for replacement. Mark A or B on the answer sheet to indicate the set of test questions assigned to you. You can use your test booklet as your scratch and keep the test booklet stapled until the end of the exam. Prohibited acts inside the examination area. Accepting or receiving anything, including food from any person while the examination is in progress. Giving money, food, or any favor, and other consideration to the room watchers and other examination personnel. Loitering, talking, or discussing your answer sorry again, nawala ko. The connection is intermittent, so I'll just share my screen again for a moment. Okay, let's proceed. So other acts that are prohibited inside the examination area, copying or referring to any solution, answer, or work of another examinee, or allowing anyone to copy or refer to your work, helping or asking help from any person, or communication with anyone by means of words, signs, gestures, codes, and other similar acts. So, pala mga
Maria Rhea Gretchen.
Okay, so hello everyone. While waiting for ma'am na makabalik siya, no? Kasi I think she's experiencing some technical problems. So while waiting, kindly answer na lang muna the evaluation, no? It's there in your sa chat box, no? Naka-print diya ang link. So kindly answer na lang muna while waiting for ma'am to be back. Okay?
For my presentation. So, okay pa ba ako tanan? Hello? Hi?
Okay pa, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're just a few slides na lang before the end of my presentation. Okay, so let's go back to my first paragraph here. Copying or referring to any solution, answer, or work of another examinee, or allowing anyone to copy or refer to your work, helping or asking help from any person. In short, if you are looking at your classmate or friend in the same room, please prohibit it, or as much as possible, prevent from communicating using gestures or hand gestures or any signs. Bringing inside the examination room books. So examples are programmable calculators, cellular phones, smart watches. No, these are prohibited inside the penalties for multiple markings and in the space provided for the submission. By the way, please unmute yourself. Mute yourselves rather, so that will not distract any of your classmates or friends here in the orientation. Okay, thank you. Now, placing name, cancellation of the exam papers, and suspension from taking the licensure examinations for 1 year. No, so Multiple markings. The grounds for it is cancellation of examination papers and suspension from the licensure examination for 2 years. Use of correction fluid and other erasing agents are strictly prohibited. So if you have any correction in the answer sheet, just place a mark, a line on top of the or over the word that you are correcting it. So stage 4 corrections, rating and release of exam results, reading by OMR or the optical mark reader, correction, checking or correction by a computer program, answer key versus mark choices of the examinee. There is no human intervention, meaning to say that once the answer sheet is being keyed inside or being fed inside the computer or the machine, whatever is the result will be final. There is no human intervention. The rating, once the ID sheets are opened, all the staff involved in the release of results, including the board members, are not allowed to leave the rating division until the results had been released to the press to use telephone or cell phone. For the release, the board members and personnel immediately after copies for press release are brought to the newspaper publications. No rechecking. The results are final when released to the press. So there is a note here. There is no rechecking of the papers. There is no human intervention. Once it is fed inside the machine, that whatever is the result, malagid na siya final. So beware of fixers. Transact business inside the counters at PRC office only. Additional guidelines in the conduct of licensure examination due to COVID-19 prevention and control. So before the examination day, inform the examination section through this email address, prc.cdoexamination@gmail.com or hotline number 0915-567-6272. Before the examination day, if you're experiencing any flu-like symptoms such as fever, cough, and or colds. If with symptoms, you will be allowed to take the next licensure examination without additional cost. Therefore, for example, you will be taking the examination on February. Your examination will be deferred on the next schedule if you're experiencing flu-like symptoms onset. Number 2, during the exam, queuing and entering the exam place due to foot bathing and thermal scanning. Please bring the following for personal use: face mask and face shield, which is optional. Wearing a face mask is a must throughout the conduct of examinations. Examinee shall submit the duly accomplished informed consent, Annex A, Health Declaration, Annex B, and negative RT-PCR test result or quarantine certificate to the proctor. Now, avoid gathering, beso-beso, or hugging, handshaking, or directly touching other examinees when inside the venue. Avoid spitting on floors, corridors, or pathways. Protective face mask will be checked before the start of every subject to ensure that they are not used to conceal codicils. Bring your own packed lunch, snacks, no sharing of foods and drinks. No one is allowed to go outside the room during break time. So program of respective PRP or Professional Regulatory Board in the conduct of licensure exam. So this is just an example PRB of Chemical Engineering. Their exam is on May 17, 18, and 19, 2022. You can see this at our PRC website. So just an example, no, you can see here what would be the subjects that you will be taking on the specific day of exam. So on Tuesday, for example, in this one, only one subject. On second day, another subject. On third day, another subject. So total of 100% of the total weight. Program of respective PRB. So here are the prohibited acts inside the examination. So I've already mentioned about this earlier, but I just like to emphasize that calculators which are programmable or with embedded functions, especially Casio FX991ES and Casio FX991ES Plus. If you're using that calculator right now, then please switch or borrow or buy another calculator because these calculators are prohibited. Apple, Samsung, and other smartwatches, cellular phones, earplugs, transmitters, portable computers, Bluetooth, and other electronic gadgets or devices which may be used for communication purposes are strictly prohibited. Bags of any kind, ladies' bags, shoulder bags, pwede rin na mo dalaan ang mga bags as long as inside the room, di na siya pwede dalon. Frequently asked questions, mandatory requirements. So if dili ka fully vaccinated, one dose pa lang ka during the exam day, then you are required to undergo RT-PCR saliva test. Antigen is not considered. Saliva test, good or swab, or original certificate of 14 days quarantine, signed by a licensed physician, municipal, provincial, or city health officer, or DHERT. Kana sila if dili ka fully vaccinated. Also bring your QR code during the day of your exam. Important reminder, Food Panda and Grab or any other food deliveries are not allowed during the examination day. So you are advised to bring individually packed lunch, snacks, and drinks. Please bring your notice of admission. Your room assignment will be posted at PRC website. For a safe and smooth arrival of everyone in CDO, please be sure that you're already identified. Be heard, yeah. So una pa maganda siya na guidelines, but some are still, effective. Kaning accommodation in CDO, kung dili ka takakagayan ni Oro, please come here on the day of your exam or pwede na po before as long as you keep distance from anyone, kapag mo kauban, family, para ensure distance na protocol. Please bring Annex A, Annex B, and Annex C. You can print Annex A and Annex B from our website. So application for registration without board examinations. Now we also have some programs here or programs na dili na kailangan of board examination. But mostly, kay experience na nila, they are already experienced of that particular profession, and because of their experience, their intensive experience, they are considered as professional by applying for a without board examination. For example, here is certified mine foreman. The requirements are original photocopies of transcript, certificate of experience, certificate of employment. So you can find this one at our PRC website. Now, real estate salesperson, kani siya without examination yapon ni. The applicant must possess these qualifications if you wanted to become a real estate salesperson. So you don't have to enroll for another 4-year course as long as mag-take lang ka of seminar to become a real estate accredited real estate salesperson. So you must be a Filipino citizen and must have completed at least 2 years of college education. Yes, 2 years lang. Then mag-take lang din ka of 12 units na real estate brokerage, that is the number 4. Must be of good moral character and must not have convicted with any crime involving moral turpitude. Then you can apply for you can apply as real estate salesperson. So more yung mga documents required: original copy or photocopy of birth certificate, original and photocopy of marriage certificate for married females only, transcript of record or certification from school or college or university stating that the applicant had completed at least 2 years in college or its equivalent based on CHED Memorandum Order Circular, original NBI clearance, declaration and undertaking form, which can be, you can claim it, you can get it here at our office, a copy of the declaration and undertaking form, photocopy of the valid PRC ID of supervising broker with 3 signatures. For example, your ate, your friend, or anyone that you know is a broker or real estate broker, then you can apply under his supervision as real estate salesperson. Original and notarized certification of 12 credit units on real estate brokerage. So like I said earlier, just enroll on an accredited na the provide of seminar for real estate brokerage na 12 units. Then 2 pieces passport size photo on white background with name tag below showing complete name. Then pay the prescribed fees and documentary stamps. The dates to remember: for professional education, just disregard certified public accountant. For professional education, currently we are conducting exam katong nag-file previously last March 2020, 2021, 2020 lang o September 27, 2020. We have a lot of backlogs because of the postponement of examinations since last year. Now we are conducting the second batch of exam for LET on January 30. Yes, this coming Sunday already. Third batch on March and the 4th batch on June. Now, the opening of filing for professional education is on April 25, and the deadline of filing of application will be on July 25. The examination of professional teachers would be on September 2022. If I'm not mistaken, that would be on September 25, 2022. For chemical engineers, you have 2 exams that you can take. You can take an exam either on the schedule May or on the October schedule. Opening of filing for May exam for chemical engineers would be on February 17 to April 18, 2022. For the schedule of October exam will be the opening of filing will be on July 11 until September 12, 2022. For civil engineers, open ang filing karon for the May 1 to 2 exam. Nag-open siya last December 17, 2021, and deadline of filing is until March 17. For date of exam sa civil engineer on November 19 to 20, the opening of filing of the application would be on July 5 until October 5. Electrical engineers, there are 2 exams to be conducted this year, either on April 2022 or on September 2022. So opening of filing, nag-open na ang filing karon sa electrical engineers January 26 until March 28. June 3 to August 5 for the exam on September 3 to 4. For electronic engineers, April 20 to 21 exam schedule and October 8 to 9, 2022 The opening of filing for April exam will be on January 20, start na from January 20 until March 21. Then for October exam will be on the filing, opening of filing rather, of application will be on July 8 until September 8. For mechanical engineers, February 27 to 28 ang ilang exam. Then they can also take another exam kung wala sila nakapasar until February 27 to 28. Then they can take on August 13 to 14. Opening of filing, nag-open ng filing sa February 27 to 28, last November 29, 2021. Then the deadline of filing will be on January 27, which is tomorrow. Then for August 13 to 14, they can file as early as May 13 until July 13. You can see the link for other examination at www.prc.gov.ph/2022 schedule examination. You may also visit us here at our office, second floor, Sky Park in Katkay Center, Cagayan de Oro City. We also have off-site offices. You can file for your application at PRC Valencia and PRC Iligan. Here's our hotline number. If you have queries, 0995-277-8672, or you may also email us at ro10@prc.gov.ph. So here are some concluding tips, no? So I got this from Mr. Nipas, and he said, develop a suitable study habit because excellence is not an act but a habit. Each one of us has different studying styles, and you should try to know which methods and techniques work the best for you. What works for someone else may not work in the same way for you, so it is better to first understand yourself and experiment on possible alternatives until you find your ideal study habit. The next step is consistently applying your study habit because it helps your brain commit to that study habit, and it will ease up the learning process because your brain will know when it should focus. Of course, you can tweak your study habit from time to time based on your need, but you should not change the factors that make it effective for you. So we are what we repeatedly do, but excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. Number 2 is understanding the concept first, then practice using effective materials. In the world of review, there are tons of review materials that you can study per subject to prepare for the board exam. And for sure, you cannot study all of that in time for board exam, but you don't need all of them to pass. I mean, don't need to review all of them, no, to pass. But all you need to do is to read well and understand the concepts and logic behind each lesson. Understanding is different from merely knowing because understanding something allows you to apply the concepts and ideas to answer correctly even newly encountered problems. After reading, practice application by answering select materials. So quality beats quantity when time is of essence. So if you're taking the examination already, mark the question items based on difficulty. So kani siya easy ni siya but contain important concepts, kani siya kay average, kani siya kay difficulty siya na question. Then after your review, at least you can save time if you have skipped some questions that are very difficult. So rest if you must, but carry on. Given the heavy academic load and other pressures of our course, coupled with other external factors, our mind and body can only handle so much before it breaks down. So, tulog-tulog din pag may time, no? But when you cannot carry the burden anymore, you should rest well and sleep. You can just continue it later or even tomorrow. But based on my experience, I recommend at most 30 minutes power nap when tired and find a place that you can study comfortably. And as much as possible, stay away from your bed. Kay, yeah, based on my experience, kung makita na ko ang bed nearby lang sa ako, ang the temptation is there, no? Buligid-ligid until such time na nakatulog di ay. So from time to time, go out with your family and friends to relieve stress. Sometimes you need to take time in appreciating those who are supporting you in your journey. Learn to give and to receive. Knowledge without sharing is useless. So you're not doing anybody service by hoarding knowledge in your head and review materials in your shelf because nobody will benefit from what you know. So for example, competitive kay ka, dili mo gusto i-share ang imong knowledge sa imong friend. No. So if you have anything that you can share to your fellow schoolmate or reviewing, whether it be time, effort, and review materials, learn to share it with them. So, di ba, you cannot give what you do not have. So what we have to learn how to receive. Be grateful with whatever blessings that may come your way and accept them wholeheartedly. And lastly, have faith in the will of God and pray. God has a plan for each and every one of us, and we are destined to achieve something great someday if we heed His words and trust in His will. Do not be discouraged by the setbacks that you encounter, but what lies ahead is something more than what you can ask for. Now, for me, in my experience, I wanted to have a license from PRC. And itong course na akong nag-graduate is BSBA, major in finance. Ako githink wala siguro wala siguro license. Wala siguro exam na para sa BSBA students. Then later, I saw a resolution na environmental planner na exam is open to those na qualified under sa ilang resolution. And one of them is master's graduate ka in the field of business administration, architecture, engineering, and then nakakay 1 year na experience related to environmental planning. So therefore, I was very very happy no nga na examination para ani. So wala ko nag-think na makakuha din ma-board passer din ko. So, di ba? So, have faith in the will of God and pray. We all have our own timelines. Siguro karon during that time graduate, magkura ko na graduate, wala ko nag-think na ato na akong thinking ato kay dili ko makakuha of board exam. Dili lagi siya in line. Wala yung examination na in line sa PSBA major in finance. So, until such time, based on my timeline, nakakuha na gid ko license from the PRC. So I think that ends my presentation and thank you for listening.
Okay.
And I am open for any questions or clarifications.
Okay, so please kindly ask some questions, especially those who will be taking your board exam right after you graduate. This coming June, I think, or May.
Dito ka madunggan, Sir Larry. Hinay yung Sir Larry.
Hinay kayo akong audio, ma'am. Hinay kayo. Okay. Pangutana na mo. This is already your opportunity, no, to clarify some questions in your mind, no? Naapa si Ma'am Janine nga maka-answer sa inyo ha directly.
May question, sir. Excuse me, sir. May question, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Ang question, ma'am ba, na ba yung schedule for 2023 ng mga board exam?
By the way, before you ask your question, kindly state your name and what college are you from?
I'm Jude, ma'am, from Electrical Engineering na department. Mag-ask lang ako if nabay as of now na nabay schedule for 2023. Earliest
2023. Wala pa may schedule for 2023. We will post it on the second semester na this year. What we have right now is the schedule for 2022.
Yes, ma'am. Mag-apiki kayong September dito. Mag 3 months lang review. See, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So, wala pa ka na-review. Self-review na lang ka. But anyway, if you're very eager to take the exam, then you can take the katong sa September. Pero kung mag-review good mo, then sa next year pa siya, para sa ba itong electrical engineer? Electrical engineer, no?
Yes, ma'am. September, ma'am. September 3 to 4. Unya, among graduation kay murag June man siguro, ma'am.
June?
Ay, murag among graduation.
Pwede lang ka mag-review na lang siguro during your
Kanon,
graduation.
no?
But
Advance
mas
review.
sana mag-graduate, self-review. At least fresh pa yung mind, no? As long as kanang graduate lang ka, make sure na kanang graduating student ka, then naka-graduate ka, then naka TOR for board examination purposes, then definitely makatake ka sa exam on September. Pero if para sa mo alanganin, then ano na lang ka, wait na lang ka for the 2023 na exam. But I think it is on April. Kung April karon na year, then most probably next year, same na gyapon naman. Pero kung lang, di na ako mag-guarantee na April pa gyapon next month. It depends man gud kung ma-move ang exam or not. Kaya wala pa man nato na-resolve ang atong COVID cases karon. So there is still a possibility na ma-move pa gyapon ang mga exams.
Okay. Any more questions?
So any more question?
Question. Education. From the education.
Hello, ma'am. Question.
Yes, go ahead.
Christian James Casino, BSME for Xavier University. Analytics man ang board exam, ma'am, no? No limit.
Ansa?
Analytic ang
No
board
limit
exam.
ang unsa nga
Mechanical licensure exam.
mechanical, yeah, only take siya, but you need to rest for 1 year after you have failed for 3 times already. So unlike sa civil engineering and other board exam related na engineering, only take sila, but for mechanical engineering na graduates, kay after 3 failures, you need to rest for 1 year. You need to say you will not be able to take any scheduled exam on the year after sa imong 3 failures. So after 1 year, ay pa din ka makatake again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Question, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Kanang break no 1 year, ma'am, walay requirement ana nga refresher course?
Wala, sir.
Wala.
Wala pa, sir, sa pagkakaroon. Depende na rin sa Board of Mechanical Engineers kung ilang i-change ang ilang resolution. I mean, nasa resolution. Pero sa pagkakaroon, wala refresher course ilang i-take. Mag-rest lang sila for 1 year. Na wala examination i-take.
And before naamagod na ay require na refresher course. If you fail 3 times, you will be required to take a refresher course for major subjects. So it's good na wala na, no? Para at least maka-continue sila to take again.
Yes.
Okay, what about for the education? Anybody from the education? Wala yung education din eh. Katong mga mag-graduate as teachers. You can ask questions now. I think wala na siguro yung question,
Yes.
ma'am.
If you have any questions, please say it now. But I see here one message from Valmores. Paula, she said, is it okay to ask a copy of my presentation? For privacy, kanang purposes, dili na mo mahatag ang copy of presentation, but rest assured that all of the all of my slides here or the information is from, are from the PRC website. Nakapost na tayo. So any more questions?
Hi, hello, good afternoon, ma'am. I have a question.
Yes.
I'm from the College of Engineering, ma'am. My question, ma'am, is ang validity sa NBI clearance, ma'am ba? Is it ang nakabutang sa NBI clearance is 1 year of validity, pero murag ang sa last year daw kuno sa ilang pag-file 6 months na daw from katong date nga nakuha. So unsay kuan ana ma'am tinuod nga gadawaton nga validity?
Okay, ang NBI kay 1 year ang validity sa ilang expiry sa ilang clearance. You can see it in the clearance mismo. So if you go to NBI, then kuha kag NBI clearance, ang nakabutang sa ilang expiry is January 26, 2023. Naay nag-file kaganiya, karon lang niya nakuha yung NBI clearance, and the validity sa iyang NBI clearance kay valid until January 26, 2023. So 1 year siya.
Okay,
Valid.
ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. As long as valid ang imong NBI clearance on the day of your exam. For example, imong exam ang imong clearance kay ma-expire na karon February 2022. Then ang imong exam kay sa March, nag-file ka karon January. So dili na mo i-accept ang imong NBI clearance because it should be valid on the day of your exam, which will be on March.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. I have a question here. Special professional licensure examination. Kung naa ka sa gawas, ang kanang SPLE kay kung naa ka sa gawas, no? Kung naa ka sa gawas, then central office, PRC central office na ang mag-arrange sa schedule ana. So you have to make a request. You have to direct your message to PRC Central Office to request for a schedule of the special professional licensure examinations. So I think this is a direct message from Elham Kalim. Any other question? But what if mag-CR po? Na-CR sa public schools. We are tapping the public schools where we conduct our examination. Na-sila CR sa sulod sa classroom. Each classroom kay na-CR. But if wala CR sa each room that you are assigned to, na-CR sa kada end sa corridor, your proctor will assist you. Pwede na mo gawas mag-CR. So, can I entertain last question na siguro o 1 or 2 more questions? Another question, direct message to me from Michael. Ma'am, mag-ask ko Michael Suwan, BSEE. Kailangan booster dose para makatake sa exam? Dili kailangan ang booster dose. Basta kay fully vaccinated ka, we need to say, nakaduha na ka-dose. Then 14 days, valid siya 14 days prior to your exam date. So, no need na booster dose. Okay, a direct message again from Jerry Casinio. Hello, Ma'am Janina. I would like to ask again, okay lang po ba if colored hair sa pictures? Okay ra nga colored hair sa picture as long as taken siya within 6 months. sa imo upon application here at PRC office. So, last question na lang siguro ni Kang Balmores. Hello, ma'am, is PRC going to return our birth certificate and DOR po? Yes, we will return your original PSA birth certificate and DOR. We just use that for cross verification. That is why we need your original PSA birth certificate and DOR and photocopies of it so that we could cross verify that the one that you have photocopied is just the same as the original. Okay, so Sir Larry.
Okay. So, yes ma'am, no? Salamat
Okay,
kayo, ma'am.
sir.
This is dako kayo nga tabang para sa among mga graduating students.
Thank
Pero,
you,
no?
Kaya Sir Lar.
I think we still have another schedule for the PRC webinar on February 23. Anyway, Sir Sean will communicate this to you, no? Kung ikaw lang gihapon ang ipa-ano ni Ma'am Flor. So, Sir Sean will contact you again, ma'am, no? So, regards na lang
Yes,
ko
sir.
kang Ma'am Flor, no? Regards ko kang Ma'am Flor. So, salamat kayo, ma'am. Salamat kayo sa imuhang time. Sir Sean will call you up, okay?
Thank you, sir.
So, sige, ma'am. Okay, so, before you leave, kamo, naay evaluation din ni, no, na i-post ni Sir Sean, na din ang link, no? Kindly answer the evaluation and submit it, no, before you leave, okay? So, anyway, for the next schedule, especially for your friends and classmates who are not able to attend this afternoon, kindly tell them to attend on February 23, the same time, 2:30 in the afternoon, no? Actually, this is assigned to the computer studies and arts and science and agriculture, no? Pero medyo gamay raman ni sila, so I think for those who are not able to attend today's this afternoon's session, you can ask them to join on February 23. No? That's our next schedule. Okay? So Ma'am Jan, thank you kay Ma'am ha. Mo-contact na mi usap Ma'am. I will
Sure,
ask
sir.
Sir
Thank
Sean to
you.
contact. Okay, Ma'am. So, sige.
And thank you everyone for attending.